Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and welcome to my review of Grease New World, the final movie in the Build V Cinema saga and the last piece of Build media, or at least film media. The movie has been out for a very long time, and for some reason, despite wanting to watch the movie because I really like Build, I didn't get around to it until I was trapped at home. So yeah, there's that. Here we are. As I just mentioned, this is of course the big finale to a whole season of Kamen Rider and more, so there will obviously be massive Build spoilers here for the movie and the season. So, just throwing that out there, if you want to get spoiled, sure, stay by all means, but if you don't, might want to get out of here. Also, just throwing it out there, I'm assuming that a lot of you are new to my Build discussions, judging by how much things have changed since the last time I did this. So, I recommend you go check out some of my previous videos and reviews after this video, since I have a whole playlist for Kamen Rider Build stuff, and there's probably something in there that you'll enjoy. But now, let's get into my review of Kamen Rider Build New World Grease. So right off the bat, I want to say that I really love this movie. There are almost no negatives I have with it, and I think just separated from my opinion, I also think this is a pretty perfect V-Cinema. There's not much wrong with it, I feel. And that's a stark difference from my opinion of Cross Z's V-Cinema, and it's kind of funny because I much prefer Ryuga as a character to Kazumine from the original season. I just feel the Cross Z V-Cinema really soured the ending of the original season for me because it undercuts all of the emotion and sacrifice, and I mean, that's a problem these V-Cinemas will have overall, but obviously Grease's movie is not actually the one doing that. I mean, it has to automatically get more points for that. But it still does undercut some emotions, but I think it does it really well, especially with the Hokuto trio and their deaths in quotation marks. I don't know their individual names, I'm just going to refer to them as the crew, the Hokuto trio, that kind of stuff. I think it was done really well here because they were kind of already killed in the original season. Kazumine's entire character in the old world original season revolved around the death of the trio and the trio itself. So originally I thought it was just going to be such a boring repeat to have them die all over again and have them become a part of Grease's power-up and strength all over again. Just like in the original season, I was not looking forward to that happening at all. But then at the end, they used it as a joke to go like, hey, we gotcha. You thought that we were going to kill us all over again, and we didn't. I really like that. That is something, I mean, mainly just because I didn't want to see these characters die again because I thought it would just be boring to have them die again. So just keeping them alive, just perfectly fine by me. And I think the humor in this overall was actually really fun, and I really liked it. That obviously is helped by the Build cast just being naturally really funny and enjoyable, but one standout is when Utami was trying to get his memories back in the beginning, and then Sento puts him in the box and then just shakes his head at Ryuga like, no, we're not doing that. And then at the end of the movie, Sento actually takes Mad Rogue out of the box, gives him his powers back. And then at that point, I was like, oh shoot, I completely forgot Utami was in this movie. I forgot he was in the box. And then Sento literally says, oh yeah, I forgot you were in the box. And I was like, oh, that's what I said. That's funny. Haha. So I don't know if that was actually like an intentional joke. Like Sento says he forgot, assuming the audience forgot. But I don't know, it connected with me, so I found it funny. The beginning of the movie is also a pretty clear comedic moment, but I think it's actually expertly done, and it really ties into the story in this case. On a base level, I find it hilarious, as Kazumine continues his charm from Build as a season, with the fun gimmick where, you have the light shining on him, and he thinks he's in his own world and speaking his mind, but then he realizes he's actually speaking aloud and doesn't realize it. That alone is always really funny. But then the whole story, this little mini story, ends with him getting rejected by Misora because he's an idiot and he just wasn't paying attention to what she was actually asking him to do. And then him and his crew take a literal raft out to sea, and that's it. But like they end it like it's a separate V-Cinema. Like they have all of like the credits just speed by, and I guess they go so fast that they actually crack into the V-Cinext logo, and then it plays again, saying like, hey, we're in a different V-Cinema now. That is so funny. I love when we fourth wall break with the logo. So in this case, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really well done. But then this whole beginning segment actually plays really well into the entirety of the story of the movie. One thing it does is set up why Grease is special in this movie, why this is his movie, why we're focusing on him, and it also connects him to the trio in a new way. Obviously with the Phantom Liquid, I'm not really saying it because I assume you guys know what I'm talking about. But then it also set up his arc in this movie by not becoming so self-centered, obviously with him not really paying attention to Misora in the beginning and also then just ignoring her at the end, or in the middle of this movie. And then at the end, we actually get visual payoff for this whole beginning arc by actually just repeating most of it. But now it's different because Kazumi actually has learned from this movie, so he actually wants to listen to what Misora has to say. But then along with that, it actually ends well because of the journey he went on in this movie. I thought that was really well done. Obviously, the beginning segment could have just been, a fun little thing, throwaway thing they wanted to do, but I thought it played really well into the story and the character arcs of this movie, and I think it just makes it stand out so much. The villain in this movie I also felt was really great. In Cross Z's movie, I personally really didn't like Killbus. I felt he was overly campy, he was really weird, but aesthetically I thought his suit was awesome. Here, I really like Metal Build's personality. Once again, I don't remember his actual name, so I'm just going to use his writer name, and you guys don't have to tell me his real name in the comments because I'm never going to call him that anyway. He's Metal Build to me, that's it. He was a great antithesis to pretty much all the Build characters as an evil scientist who doesn't believe in friends at all and only his scientific abilities, and I think it was demonstrated well with his constant killing of allies. I also like that he kind of had more or less the same backstory as Ryuga's girlfriend from the previous movie, as someone who was killed early off screen in Build's season, but this time he has a darker twist because of who he was in the old world, so kind of showing how the old world changes this new world. Honestly, there's not really much to him beyond that as a character or a villain, but he's a movie villain. I mean, I'm not expecting these things to be amazing, so I think he does the job well, and he's enjoyable doing it. He does have that weird tick of saying he's number one, though, and I think it's to justify the constant use of Kamen Rider Ichigo sounds. Am I the only one who noticed that? Probably. Aesthetically, though, I'm not really a huge fan of Metal Build. I think that's my hottest take ever. But it's really just because regarding the hazard forms, I really like the bright colors the eyes provided. And this gets rid of them, and it's just kind of an all black suit. There's like nothing going on. Like the hazard suit is great, but I don't know, the eyes kind of ruined it for me in this case. Phantom Build is cool, though. I really like that. And I wasn't expecting multiple Phantom Crushers or whatever they're called in this movie. And also, I like the continuity of how Metal Build has a different effect to his transformation because he's using Phantom Liquid. I'm assuming the full bottles are also like Phantom Liquid full bottles, and it's why they're all black. I don't really know. And I appreciate the continuity of how the Blue Smash friend, that's his name, is scared of Hazard Form because, he was killed by Hazard Form. Like, literally, when he gets his memories back, I guess, the last thing he would remember is Hazard Form. So seeing it again probably wasn't doing wonders for him. And while we're on the topic of aesthetics, I'm really just going to round out everything here by talking about the visuals as I usually do. As usual, the build suits are on point here. I love how Grease Perfect Kingdom combines the visual quirks of the Hokuto trio and their colors with Grease's gold, and how that plays into the sounds and the finisher. I love stuff like that where we combine a bunch of different forms, and I think this is a great way to do that. And the finisher is that is so cool, having all the trio around him. I also thought the finisher was reminiscent of Cross Evil's finisher from the previous movie, so I don't know if that was something they were going for. And then that's also the whole fight scene with Perfect Kingdom is combined with this Heisei Generations Forever-esque moment with all the Build Riders fighting together in their final forms and transforming together in their final forms as well, which is pretty amazing alone. But we also get Prime Rogue incorporated into that whole thing, and that is so cool because he only appeared in the Hyper Battle DVD, and this is kind of like confirming his place as the final form. And it's also really cool to see a Hyper Battle DVD form actually get used outside of that Hyper Battle DVD. My favorite fight of this whole movie, though, has got to go to the whole Grease Blizzard segment, and it's really mainly because Grease Blizzard is really such a great suit on its own. It's probably my favorite Grease suit, if not tied with Perfect Kingdom, because I mean that's just really cool. But before, its only usage has just been in a darkly lit room. The fight scene in the Build season was amazing still, but like you don't really get to see the suit in its full glory. So I feel like the producers or somebody on the Build staff knew that. So for this movie, the Grease Blizzard suit is in a brightly lit room. Like you can see the lights on that suit, and I mean it looks awesome. I love seeing the suit in its full bright, I guess, glory, and it looked great. There's pretty much nothing I have on that fight besides the fact we finally get to see Grease Blizzard in like some full light, and I think it looked awesome. I also appreciated that Misora was terrified of Grease Blizzard because again, the last time she saw Grease Blizzard, Kazumi died. So Visually, this is my favorite fight, but I think from a conceptual point, this actually might be the weakest fight because of the white panel. This is literally my only negative, like strong negative with the whole movie. Why does Kazumi have the white panel with him? Like, he wasn't going to give it to Metal Build anyway. He says that. He's like, I'm not going to give it to you. So why would you bring it with you? Just show up and fight to save Misora. That's like your whole point being here anyway. They're not going to shoot Misora if you don't bring the white panel because, like, they still want the white panel, right? Like, if he shows up just to fight, why would you shoot her? Because then no one will bring you the white panel, right? I don't know. It feels like he only brought the white panel so he could drop it and then Metal Build could use it to attain his quote-unquote final form. That is my only real critique of this whole movie because honestly I loved everything else about it. It did a great job of functioning as its own separate movie, a continuation of Cross Z's movie, and a finale to the Build saga overall, until the book that I can't read. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this Cooking V Cinema down in the comment section, and also don't forget to check out that Build playlist for some more videos on the adventures of the genius physicist and friends. And for more Kamen Rider videos in general, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.